It's a tough act to follow Michael Davis and Michael Bennett. I came to know Claire. I came to know how selfless and how loving and how brave she was through her mother and father, Michael and Desiree. One of our conversations happened a few days before Christmas. They were sitting side by side in the waiting room inside the intensive care unit of Littleton Adventist Hospital. Colorado, well, really the whole country, was then still coming to learn what had happened to her. 1 minute, Claire was sitting with a friend having cookies. The next, she stepped into harm's way. Only Claire, being Claire, didn't see it that way. She saw a classmate armed with a gun, and Claire, she approached him, armed only with kindness and concern. She asked, "What are you doing?" "Carl, what are you doing?" When I was with Michael and Desiree in the waiting room, a doctor came in to talk to them about Claire's condition. He said if Claire woke up, and the doctor said he felt the need to emphasize if, it would take weeks or months. For a few moments, Michael and Desiree sat quietly. Then, just like that, Desiree quietly, almost playfully, asked the doctor if he had heard that she and a hospital staffer had a debate, a little disagreement. And Desiree went ahead and explained the disagreement. It was over a print hanging in the waiting room. It was a watercolor of a woodsy scene, a small waterfall descending over rocks between trees and flowers. The way Desiree told it, the staffer apologized that there was no image of God in it. He didn't see God in that picture. And Desiree had responded, "God is everywhere in that picture." If Claire woke up, the doctor had said. Desiree had heard what the doctor said. She'd heard him. And she responded in the direct way that is her fashion, with the story of the picture. She told the story aloud as if it were a proclamation to the universe. You see, no one was going to tell Desiree that God was not in this picture, because for Desiree that would imply there was no light, no hope in that room or in this world for them and for their Claire, really for us all. Michael and Desiree have held fast to their faith and to the divine power of love. No one is going to tell them that God and all He represents is not in their picture or in our picture. In a public statement, Michael and Desiree wrote of, and I quote, "the grace and laughter and light that Claire brought to this world." As if making another proclamation, they said that none of that would be extinguished by her death. To the contrary, it will only get stronger. Michael and Desiree wrote that last week was truly a paradox in that we lost our daughter, yet we witnessed the wonderful love that exists in the world through the tremendous outpouring of support we received. Here, all of us together right now is indeed proof that Michael and Desiree were right, and that Claire's grace and laughter and light will only get stronger and will be with us always if we only let it. Despite that any one of us would have done anything to make it otherwise, The heartache that the Davis family felt and continues to feel is uniquely their own. However, it seems to me the moment is in some way emblematic of, in so many ways, of so much of what Colorado has been through these past couple years. Fires, floods, senseless, inexplicable violence. And here are Michael and Desiree, these two parents with holes in their heart, who have invited us all here to help them begin to heal their hearts and fill them with love and hope, to join with them in forgiveness and humanity, to join with them in forgiveness and community, so that all of us can begin to look toward tomorrow. On Christmas Eve, Michael and I were exchanging emails, and he described Claire as a cherished gift. And just as Claire was a gift to Michael and Desiree and Alex, their love, their faith, their humanity are gifts to all of us. The Davis family, all four of them, endure as an example of what the human spirit is capable of. Maybe, just maybe, when we leave here today and continue back in our own lives, maybe one way we can honor and remember Claire is before we say or do something, we reflect and ask ourselves that last question she asked: what is it that we are doing to one another, for one another? I've come to know Claire well enough to know that she would like it if we did.